All right, Fox's Gregg Jarrett, you know him well. He's got a great book, and now he's out with a pretty explosive new claim. He says newly obtained documents confirm that the FBI, under the direction of James Comey, was running a secret and corrupt counterintelligence operation against the Trump campaign in 2016 and repeatedly deceived the FISA court in order to wiretap Trump campaign associate Carter Page. Joining me right now to reflect on all of it, former U.S. Attorney Bud Cummins. You know, Bud, what I would say about this is I think we know that there was some massive FISA abuse. I think that's actually at this point kind of fact, right? Because they didn't even tell the judge in bold print what was going on, and they never bothered to verify any of this stuff that they were getting from Fusion GPS, you know, which was an opposition research firm, effectively, and Hillary Clinton's team had paid for this stuff. So that, I would say, is all loud and clear, and Gregg here is just putting a big headline on it. He's saying, in fact, all of this amounts to a counterintelligence operation within the FBI being run front and center by James Comey. Do you agree with that allegation?
I agree that it's really disappointing, and the new documents that he's referring to show how, after they determined that Christopher Steele was leaking information to the media, they already knew he was being paid by Hillary. I mean, let's keep in mind, Christopher Steele was an agent of Hillary Clinton. If they'd have gone to the FISA court and said this information came from a
foreign agent, by the way,
of Hillary Clinton, and who was also working, a foreign agent who is also working with buying and collecting information from foreign agents,
including Russians.
You have to think, including Russians, you would have to think that the judge would have looked at those applications differently. It's a murky area of the law. An agent is, and the FBI officials, the DOJ, they're not required to tell the judge every single thing they know about a case, but they have to tell them things that are material and relevant to the application. And it seems pretty dang clear that they didn't do that. And the question is, you know, I don't really know what all the remedies here are, but the FISA court needs to police this, and we don't really know if they've done anything about it or if they intend to do anything about it. And I'm not sure we'll ever know because it's a secret court.
Oh, no, I hear you. So James Comey, in your view, was he acting quite deliberately because he had a bias?
It's hard to believe that they were able to line up this many people. So after Steele is fired by the FBI, he continues to pass information on to Bruce Orr. Bruce Orr's passing it on to Peter Strzok. Strzok to Lisa Page. Lisa Page to Andy McCabe. Andy McCabe to Comey. Nowhere in that chain do they find an objective person or even a conservative person, apparently. They find these left-leaning, biased, and obviously arrogant and self-righteous people all in a line. I always said for the last 2 years, certainly there was somebody in those rooms that knew what they were doing was wrong and is going to come forward now and explain what they saw and how concerned they were. The ends might have justified
the means, right, to them? Or
apparently
to James
they
Comey?
were able to clean house. Apparently they were able to clean house. Everybody in the room was a Hillary supporter and a left-leaner or an incompetent bureaucrat.
Wow, it's
just, there was nobody with any common sense and fairness in the room the entire time they were doing this.
Insane to me that you would ever rely on some, you know, agent overseas who's collecting information, paying for it, right? I'm assuming that's how they operate over there, from Russians, former Russian agents who, by the way, were probably, you know, cluing Vladimir Putin in on the whole darn thing. My thinking is Putin's got exactly what he wants, because everybody's sitting there going, wait a second, I can't trust the U.S. system, understandably, right? Who trusts it now, given all this?
Well, and that's the really disheartening thing. When I worked for the Department of Justice, you know, 10 or 15 years ago, they put me on the road to defend the Patriot Act, and I went out and told people that we needed these type of tools like FISA, like the Patriot Act, and that they were going to be in good hands and that you could trust the people that had them. And frankly, I don't believe that anymore. After what I've seen, I couldn't tell a group of people, citizens, that and believe it.
That's scary.
And I think a lot of our trust in FBI, DOJ, some of these bureaucracies has to be repaired, because this is awful.
Bud, good to see you.
Awful.
Thank you so much for your perspective. It is awful.